Hello, everyone. Can you hear me well? Excellent. So as they have introduced me, my name is Aiman Hamdouna, and I'm excited to be in Saudi Arabia and witness the amazing transformation happening. Today, I'll be speaking to you about accelerator programs and how to build a successful accelerator. So what I'm going to take you through is the history of accelerators, why accelerator programs, what are the impact of accelerator programs, the evolution of accelerators, models of accelerator programs, running a successful accelerator program, and the future of accelerator program. And finally, I will tell you about Hatch Quarter. So let me take you through to the first accelerator program that has been run. The first accelerator program was founded in 2005 by Paul Graham, and he founded it to disrupt the venture capital industry and allow investors invest small amount of money into early stage companies. The first cohort of that accelerator, which is called the Y Combinator, and I think many of you have heard of it. Did anyone heard of Y Combinator? Excellent. Did anyone actually participate in an accelerator? Raise your hand. Excellent. So the first cohort that they have ever ran, it was 8 companies. 4 of those 8 companies were successful. Reddit, as you see, was acquired after 1 year of that program for $20 million. At one point, Y Combinator had $30 billion portfolio valuation made out of multiple companies, but 20 billion of that valuation was made out of 2 companies only, and that was Dropbox and Airbnb. So that is where accelerator has started. So why do we have accelerators and why do we build accelerators? What do accelerators do to us? So first, let me define an accelerator. An accelerator is a program that helps early stage company grow and provide them with the resources, the tool, the approach, and the network that they require in a time frame, hard start and hard finish. Many of you here who may know about accelerators and incubators, and let me differentiate between the two. What is an incubator and what is an accelerator? So an incubator goes for a long period of time. You are able to start with them from idea and keep going with them for 3 to 5 years. You are able to enter the incubator at different stages and get and access different information, knowledge, and tools. An accelerator, though, as I mentioned, it has a hard start, hard finish, and accelerating a specific problem for those participants. And usually it's a cohort base. The objective of accelerator is to give you mentorship, resources, seed funding, collaboration, investors, as well as consultation to help you with your growth. And also, they give you a lot of experiences of other entrepreneurs who have been through the journey and will help you avoid mistakes, and that could save you years of trying and experiences. So that's why we build an accelerator, and that's what accelerator is. But accelerator has a huge impact in the economy. Accelerators create jobs, and the jobs that they create under startup create jobs indirectly to the supporting companies. Accelerator increases the GDP of countries. Accelerator fosters innovation, allows us to find solutions for problems we have and advance the human. And finally, accelerator can attract investment to the economy of a country from within the country or from foreign investors. So accelerator adds a lot of value to the economy in multiple ways. So let me tell you about the evolution of accelerators, that now that we know what is an accelerator and what does it do to the participant and to the economy. So accelerator evolution has been advanced by the trends and the changes of the economy, and it goes from emerging of new digital technologies, emerging of specialization of the accelerator. Usually we used to have industry agnostic accelerators. Accelerators for every startups from multiple industries come together into a cohort and go through that program. Now, as the industry matures, and you would see that in Saudi Arabia as well, you will find that there are more vertical specific accelerators. That could be a technology vertical specific, an industry vertical specific, or even a market vertical specific. Also, COVID has accelerated the adoption of digital tools utilization within accelerators, which has helped accelerators being more accessible. So you are able to run an accelerator and you could be anywhere around the world and access the mentor, the knowledge, the information, and everything that is delivered by this accelerator. The future trends of accelerators could be focused in more sustainable businesses and could be incorporating more AI tools, and I will be talking about that later on in my presentation. So now I defined accelerator. I told you about the impact, the trends, and the evolution. There are multiple models for an accelerator, and this is relevant for participants who are looking for accelerator or for corporation, government who are looking to establish an accelerator to enhance innovation. I will tell you a few models here that we are able to cover today, but as we are a startup industry, a disruption of a model should be encouraged and welcome. So anybody has a new model, do let me know, and I would love to discuss with you how we can implement it together. So the first and foremost accelerator, which is the common accelerator we see around the world, is the equity-based accelerator. They will accept you into the accelerator based on specific merits that they are looking for. They will provide you with all the knowledge, the resources, the funding, and everything that we have covered, and they will take equity from your company. And therefore, they will take their return of investment. Usually, those accelerators are privately managed and operated accelerators. We have the fee-based accelerators, and those are the accelerators that will charge you fee if you don't want to give equity. Sometimes equity is the most expensive thing, and actually most of the time, for entrepreneurs if the idea went and became successful. Therefore, depending on your stage, you could choose that you want to pay for the services, the access to the network, knowledge, and resources in order to be admitted to the program instead of giving up some equity. Then we have the corporate-backed model, and we see this becoming a trend, and there are more corporate-backed accelerators around in Saudi Arabia and globally. And those come from a corporate who would like to find solutions to some of the problems they are facing in the industry, or they want to support the industry advancement in general. Those corporations will give you funding, will give you pathways, ability to do a pilot with them, and they are highly, I would say, efficient and effective, and we will see more of them as we mature with the ecosystem. There are non-for-profit models, and I believe Munshaat sometimes funds some of those accelerators, and those are for the purpose of increasing the pipeline to the industry, supporting an industry in specific, and increasing the number of entrepreneurs in it and the ventures that they are there. And then we go into the sector specific, which I covered that in the trend. So we will see more as we go sector specific accelerator in agriculture and fintech and renewable energy, and those accelerators usually are very efficient and they have high success rate because the network around the accelerator is managed by experts within the industry. And finally is the hybrid model. And the hybrid model can be an interaction and a collection of those models that we have delivered here and showed you in this slide. So now I have introduced an accelerator, I have explained what an accelerator. I want to tell you about how can you run a successful accelerator. A program and an accelerator without an ecosystem will not be successful. And therefore, to build an accelerator, you need to have all the ecosystem, the species of the startup industry or the industry you are within in order for this accelerator to be successful. So the element of a successful accelerator is having a great and a strong mentorship, and those by experts within the industry. You need to have partners that will provide funding. Regardless of the model of the initial accelerators that you are running, you need to have investors who will follow through and support those entrepreneurs to take their ideas after they have been accelerators. It needs to be an industry focused. The more focused you are, the better the outcome of your accelerator. You need to have a success-based KPI. So you can have many metrics into how your accelerator will be successful: the number of participants, the number of hours delivered, the number of attendees into each workshop. But what you really need to focus on is the success, the actionable steps that they are able to take their journey into the success that they are looking for. And finally, the last two of the elements, and the most important and very dear to me, is diversity and inclusion. You need to have your accelerators diverse and inclusive. And why is that? We are an inclusive and diverse society, human race. And the more diversity and inclusion is integrated into your accelerator, your startups and your participants will be able to capture a bigger market share, because the target market is diverse and we need the inclusion that we need. And finally, which we have learned ourselves from the long experiences of delivering accelerators, you need to be flexible. Good founders have their own schedules. They are busy and they have other elements in their life that they need to do. And therefore, while you can have scheduled workshops, scheduled mentorship, you need to have flexibility to access all the tools, the knowledge, and whatever you're providing with your accelerator to those participants, for them to go through the program and continue to be connected to you. So those are the elements of a successful accelerator. Now, the strategy that you need to have while you're developing your accelerator, you need to have a clear mission and focus. You need to build a strong network, which I mentioned, provide high-quality mentorship, foster a supportive community, an ecosystem of all the species required by the participant to become successful, and which applies to everything we do in our life, continuous improvement. You need to have data points that you collect throughout the journey. You need to identify that from the get-go in order to collect the right data to keep improving and working forward with your accelerator programs. So what is the future of accelerators? We have been disrupted, there is transformation, we get AI, we have ChatGPT. Who uses ChatGPT? Okay, ChatGPT have changed my life. Probably this presentation is backed by ChatGPT, so thank you to that. And it will change the industry moving forward. A lot of the elements we used to do as a human in order to support those participants, we no longer need it. AI will replace it. So where is the value of an accelerator? How can we build a successful accelerator? The future of accelerators, we will see greater focus on sustainability. Everybody cares about the environment, as we should. Everybody cares about the society, as we should. Everybody cares about the impact and the UN goals and many of the elements that we are working towards. Therefore, every accelerator needs to take a great focus on this element. We will have more virtual and hybrid programs, more accessible programs. We have platforms, we have the internet, we have the cloud. Why not? We are able to do that. We will have more increased focus on regional ecosystem. For example, we have a lot of accelerators in the hubs, the city, the capital, but we have amazing talent in regional areas. I have the experience to work with Al-Hissa, King Faisal University, to deliver some programs to them, and the talent there was phenomenal. The outcomes that we had was amazing, and therefore they will be more focused on regional accelerators. We will have more specialized programs, more focused programs, and more accelerators for a specific problem. So we used to have an accelerator to help early stage companies to find funding and go to the next step. Now we can have accelerator for everything. Accelerator to help founders who have already implemented the product to be better at HR, to read balance sheet, to increase their capabilities. And therefore, there are multiple objectives of an accelerator, not only generic objective and raising more money to the startup. Increased role of university education. We see integration of the education and the competencies and capabilities needed by the universities. We used to need to upskill founders about what a startup is, what is entrepreneurship, what is the startup ecosystem. But now we can see in the curriculum of the universities is being integrated. We see every university establishing their own incubator, their own accelerator, and therefore we will have better quality founders who are graduated from universities, knowing about entrepreneurship, are keen to build their startups and participant. Excellent. I have 2 minutes left, so I have 15 seconds left. I will introduce HatchQuarter quickly. So my name is Aiman Hamdouna. I am the founder of HatchQuarter, which is an innovation hub in Australia. We bridge the gap between technology, human, and industry through enabling and growing high-growth tech venture. We do that through our accelerator program. We do that by building and delivering accelerator program with government and corporation. And we do that by working with partners such as MoWorks. It's a digital agency that help us accelerate the digital footprint of the companies that we work with. So thank you so much for having me today, and I look forward to working with all of you.